Our first application is our structural application. This is the easiest one for people to understand who are new to kinesiology tape because we're restricting range of motion, we're trying to hold a posture. Although I can use this anywhere in the body, the most common area in my clinic is between the shoulder blades to affect the mid-back and prevent the rolling forward of the shoulders. We're going to apply our postural spider to his mid-back like this, and it's going to remind him every time he gets moving forward that he needs to straighten up and take this position. So with our postural spider, we see that we have a number system explaining exactly which order to apply the tape. We're going to snap and break each perforation before we start and remove tab number 1. And while Xavier is relaxed, we're going to apply section number 1 to just over top of his spine. It's important to do this while he's relaxed, because if he comes back like this, the skin would bunch up, we wouldn't get good skin contact. So he's going to relax here. And now we're going to simply have him take the position that we want him to finish in, which is palms forward like that. That's his good posture. We're going to aim for just right along the shoulder blade as our spot, but it really is where the peak of the kyphosis is. So once we find this position, we're going to roll the palms forward. We're going to take the position that we want him to finish in. And we're going to apply the tape without stretch over top of the skin. We do have the option, if we want, to provide some stretch. We could come like that and pull it this way. It would make it so we couldn't roll our shoulders forward. Generally, we want to make sure we kind of start with as little stretch as possible, because when there's extra stretch applied, that's where we end up with skin irritation. So we're going to lay the tape down without any stretch whatsoever. Our aim was right where the shoulder blade is. The position depends on the peak of his mid-back kyphosis. And now if Xavier relaxes, we see the tape kind of spreads out, and then anytime his shoulders get going forward, he gets a gentle reminder, hey, let's straighten back up and take this position that we started in. With the same principles that we learned from applying it to his mid-back, we're going to apply it the same way to his low back. When we do that, it's going to restrict flexion of his low back and promote a hip hinge. To begin, we're going to break all the perforations of the tape, and we're going to apply the first section to the junction between his mid-back and low back, and we're going to make sure to do it when he's nice and relaxed. Otherwise, we won't get full skin contact. So we're going to rub the tape to activate the adhesive. And from here, we're going to have Xavier take the position we want him to finish in. So he's going to go thumbs up. We're going to go up overhead, get a nice straight back position. So because Xavier took the position we want him to finish in, we can apply the tape without stretch, and we'll still get the structural support. So I'll bring this up like this, and we apply it, no stretch, to the skin. Again, if we wanted to give extra support, or if we wanted to restrict him fully, we could give some stretch here and bring it up, but we don't want to do that with Xavier. We just want to give a gentle reminder to keep the position that we intend to give. And once we finish all the strips, really important to rub the tape at this point to activate the adhesive, because as soon as he lets his arms down, the tape is going to stretch out. Good. So drop the arms down, and if he bends forward to touch his toes, he's going to find out that he can't do it now from his low back, and he has to do it with a hip hinge. The first study that we look at is a study that I really like. The reason being is that it answers a question that I want to know the answer to as a clinician. What's better for rounded shoulder posture? Stretching the front of the shoulder alone, or stretching the front of the shoulder with kinesiology tape? It's a 2-week study, and they evaluated the beginning and the end. Day 1, they looked at the shoulder angle, and they found that with the stretching group, no benefit had been seen yet. With the kinesiology tape with the stretching group, they saw a 20% improvement because they were using a postural application. At the end of the 2 weeks, they removed the tape and retested everything again. And what they found was the stretching group alone saw a 9% improvement. The kinesiology tape and stretching group saw a 19% improvement in their forward shoulder angle. And they concluded from this that all stretching programs should consider using kinesiology tape to improve the speed and the effect of the program. Building off our previous study, this 2022 study out of Thailand looks at postural application and its effect on rounded shoulder posture again. And what they found was after a 6-week period, they removed the tape and the users had a 28% improvement in their shoulder position. They kept the tape off for an additional 2 weeks and still found that there was a 21% improvement in that shoulder position. Now the cool thing is, as a result of the improvement in posture, they also saw that there's a 33% improvement in the ability for them to expand their upper part of their rib cage and a 12% increase in their maximum inspiratory pressure, which can represent an increase in their diaphragm strength.